Hi, I'm Adam Clark, Defensive Coordinator at Angelo State University. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to share what football knowledge I can with the Instant Clinic here. I'll be talking over defensive line pass rush games. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about pass rush games out of a four-man front. Obviously, there's a number of different games that you can run. There's kind of a few general principles that I really believe in and how we teach them to try and make them effective. We always try and talk to our players about them understanding that who the looper is the setup man. And for any stunt, pass rush stunt to work, the setup man has to do a great job and maintain the attention of the offensive lineman that they are attacking initially. Okay, so if we're talking about first, your kind of classic ET, defensive end going first and tackle going second. Again, the setup man's going to be the looper, the defensive tackle that's going second. We have it aligned out of two threes and two wider 5, 9 jet type defensive ends. Again, there's different things you can do from an alignment standpoint where you want to put them. I do like to use this look quite a bit of double threes, pretty loose threes, and again, 9 jet type defensive ends, a yard wide or so, maybe a little even more so, depending on how an offensive line sets and those type of things. There's game plan variables. But general deal we teach first, again, is talking about the setup man, as we want to attack the inside shoulder of the guard. We want to kind of cross his face a little bit and try and draw his set back inside and keep his attention. We use the term to hypnotize him. We want to kind of get close to him and kind of poke and prod at him, keep his attention, slap at some hands. We don't want to get hands on him because we don't want to grab him and hold us, have him grab us and hold us from getting our loop around there. So we're just trying to keep his attention. So we talk about coming in here and hypnotize, still gaining ground forward. We don't want it to be a lateral movement. It's still gaining ground upfield, poke and prod and hypnotize and trying to keep his eyes on us. While we're keeping his attention, the defensive end is going to take, depending on game plan variables of how these offensive linemen set, either 1 or 2 steps vertical. Then he's going to come down hard, trying to beat the inside hand of the offensive tackle, aiming for the hip of this offensive guard. Okay? When we get there, okay, in a perfect world, we might get a little bit of a hand on the shoulder or the back of this offensive guard. If we win, flat out win, and we can go get a sack, of course we want to carry on and go get a sack. But if need be, or he's there, or we're getting a little pressure from this tackle, we want to try and get a hand on here, create a little bit of a pick, and then carry on and ricochet to an inside aiming point on the quarterback. Okay? And at this point here, we try and talk about periffing when this guy's clearing. Okay? We don't want to go too early because we know if we leave too early, that his eyes are going to come directly out and he's going to pick up that move, and we're not going to get the pick and no one's going to come free. If he does a good job and he's patient, it's going to give this guy, the end, the penetrator, a chance to get a sack, and then it's also going to give us on the loop a chance to get a sack. And if they do a decent job picking it up, as long as we're here, okay, this guy's still going to flash across that quarterback's vision, making the quarterback move this way. And then, again, a lot of times these guys think they got to, when you draw up, they're going like that. So they think they got to leave early to get there. Well, again, if they do a good job and stay in here, this thing's going to condense down. This lineman's going to chase him down. This tackle's going to chase him down in here. And that loop's going to be a lot tighter. So again, we talk about you get the reward. If you give him a chance at least to do his job, you get the reward of actually having a chance to really get a legitimate sack and for stunts to work out. So here we got the classic ET stunt where we have a pretty good job by a D tackle, and the end does a pretty good job as well up to the top of the screen. See the end get vertical a couple steps, comes through in the inside. The D tackle does a good job of hypnotizing, being patient, and ends up coming completely clean. We get a little bit of a natural pick. You can see the defensive end actually get a little bit of a hand on the back, just hit the hip of the guard just a little bit. You can see it again. And again, you can see the D tackle as he's coming in, just kind of throwing his hands around. And both sides, we're actually running on both sides to the defensive right. We don't get the good steps by the defensive end. He goes upfield too far and doesn't come underneath quick enough. But to the defensive left, it's exactly what we want. Get that guy setting a little bit, opens up the inside. And you can see, right here, you can see that arm of this defensive end right here coming in and just getting a little bit of a shove, and that picks that guard. And now we're coming around scot-free there. And that's what ultimately we want. The defensive tackle doesn't have to loop too wide on this. It comes down around. He might have been able to be a little tighter there. But again, we're going to get a free hit on the quarterback if we could hit the quarterback here, but this is spring ball, so we're not hitting our quarterback. But That's really what it's supposed to look like, and it's a really good job by the D tackle of attacking the inside shoulder, hypnotizing. Again, you see, keeps that attention of that guy, of the guard, and again, the guard never even sees it. There's not even a chance for a switch, really. And then you get that little bit of a pick. He can't keep coming with them. And again, we're coming around clean.